What's the saddest flex you've seen? Story 1. A guy who got a DUI with his sober girlfriend in the car because he's not going to be driven by a woman. Less than a month later, he gets a driving on a suspended license with his girlfriend in the car because he's still not going to be driven by a woman. Story 2. I got into this sort of cold war with this personal trainer at my gym. One day about a month ago I was using the hack squat machine, which is notoriously difficult to get onto at our gym, as it's one of the most popular exercises and the place is always crazy overcrowded, and he comes along to ask me how many sets I have left. I tell him I had 3 left, I just finished my warm-up. He proceeds to tell me I have to get off the machine because he needs it for his client. I told him I wasn't moving, I'd already been waiting over an hour for a turn. The guy says I have to get off now. That's the rules of the gym. If a trainer needs to use equipment for their client, then regular members have to give it up. I asked if his client could just work in with me, meaning that he does his set after I do mine, and we just take turns. Nah, that's not how it works. I said you have to get off, you have to get off. It's not a negotiation. So I got up and went over to the manager to ask if that was, indeed, a rule. He said it most certainly was not, and apologized profusely. Trainer gets chewed out, apparently, and I thought that was the end of it. I come back in the next day and that trainer is sitting at the front desk, gives me this cold death stare as he checked me in. Literally felt like a scene from a western or something where some lunatic cowboy glares into your eyes right before he blows you away. I ignored him and went about my workout as usual. Later on, I was walking across the parking lot and hear a car horn, so I turned to look, and sure enough there he is in a new Mercedes with a slick grin on his face, nodding confidently. Guy literally blew his horn at me just so I'd see him in his father's car and apparently be impressed. LOL. Subscribe. Story 3. The saddest flex I've ever come across was when someone boasted about their extensive collection of luxury designer handbags while simultaneously expressing dissatisfaction with their overall life situation. It was a stark reminder that material possessions can't fill emotional voids or provide genuine happiness. This situation highlighted the hollowness of equating material wealth with personal fulfillment, and served as a poignant example of how societal pressures can lead people down a path that doesn't necessarily align with their true values and well-being. Story 4. Once I heard an old lady flexing about the fact her mother hit her frequently as a child and didn't turn into a lazy couch potato or a whore but a hard worker. Ma'am, you would have turned the same without a hard hand in your face. Story 5. I remember starting working at Costco when I was around 19. I started on the front end, the cash register side of things, and the recruits, including me, were getting the walk around by an older gentleman, probably well into his 50s. He stated that when he started working at Costco he was around our age, and that look him now, a manager. I just remember feeling a profound sadness that this man never even attempted to be anything more than a front-end manager for Costco. His wages probably never broke $20 an hour. Don't get me wrong, Costco is a decent job for plenty of people, but I just hate the idea of locking yourself into a career decision at 19 at Costco. Story 6. Years ago, at my student job, a guy was bragging how he cut his daughter's bicycle in half when she didn't put it back in the garage. The bike that he himself paid for, he felt pretty proud of his "people have to obey my rules or face the consequences" attitude. I just felt like he threw away a bicycle's worth amount of money. Story 7. I can't even remember what we were discussing when this came up, but my brother had moved back home and bragged to me that it took him a week, just a week, to nail down a job as a gas station clerk. Like just sitting behind the counter and ringing people up. He quickly garnered a reputation of not verifying IDs for alcohol purchases with the local high schoolers. Story 8. The saddest flex was my ex-best friend boasting about how he used to grab our classmate's thighs while sitting next to her without her even noticing. That girl is the love of my life. I haven't told her about this because I feel it's better she doesn't know. Have had to make weird excuses for her to never meet him again. Story 9. There is actually a fake private jet interior that YouTubers and Instagram famous Idiots can rent out, to make it look like they are taking a private jet somewhere. Like literally a movie prop set, to pretend you are on a private jet. How sad and pathetic is that? Thanks for watching to the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and see you next time.